So similarly to the operations meeting, you now hold a capacity meeting where we talk about all things capacity. You are the chair, you're the one who runs this meeting with your techs, you talk capacity. Similarly, weekly, fortnightly for capacity. We now look at the overall health of all of our systems. Do we have capacity issues? You don't want to be getting alerts on servers, on storage, on performance concerns. You don't want to get these alerts. Ideally, you want to have preventative measures. You want to have proper planning so that you don't get these alerts in the first place. Okay, so what I mean, so if I'm talking about storage, you've got a SAN. You've got a SAN that has 100 disks inside of it. Well, you know eventually as that SAN builds up, it fills up, you get more servers, more data, all of this starts to accumulate the storage of these disks on your SAN. Well, eventually your SAN's going to run out of storage. You need to add more disks to it. So you should already have alerts and monitoring against all of these products, all of this hardware to let you know when you need to add more disks, right? When you're low on disk space. You should already have that. But what would be great is if you have a capacity meeting. In that meeting, you have somebody who's responsible for that SAN, a storage admin, a systems admin, and they report to you as the IT manager, the health and the storage on that particular SAN. So you now know ahead of time, hey, look, at the rate of the trajectory that we're going, he may show you reports, he may show you a little graph. In 3 months' time, we're going to hit 85% capacity on that SAN. So you already know ahead of time, and you could even start looking at telling them to start ordering new disks now, so that by the time that 3 months comes, you've already prevented that 85% cap from being hit. And that's true with everything. It's not just capacity around storage, but RAM, if you're running VMware via a virtualization environment, your hosts will have RAM issues. So you want to go and perhaps buy additional RAM, enough CPU. You want to allocate virtual machines, things of that nature. Your business is expanding. You need to look at purchasing additional patch panels, additional switches. All of this falls within capacity. Something else that is important around capacity is even the links. You've got Office A and Office B, and there's a tunnel between these two via a direct cable. Well, there's now a lot more traffic flowing through, and your network team will be able to report to you that, hey, there's quite heavy load on here. There's heavy load on our link. We should consider increasing the capacity of our link, putting in a faster link. All right. So all of that all falls within the capacity meeting itself. All right. But there's also a lot more. All right. So capacity is anything around capacity across any of your infrastructure. And similarly to the operations, here's a little simple spreadsheet that you could use with some little headings, columns and rows that you could use to sort of keep track of all of your capacity issues. And of course, all of these would then be raised as tickets in some sort of a service desk system for somebody to go and action. Here's the example of the capacity register. Now, see, it's very similar to the operations, almost identical, but now it's focusing around capacity. All right, so the structure, the columns, everything that's in here is the same. Of course, you can go and add and remove the columns as you so need to. You may want to collect more information or less information, but some examples of some capacity items could be, well, my VMware host number 2 is reporting low RAM. So there's a RAM issue. We need to get this addressed. Or 2 of my security PCs, perhaps these are used for CCTV, are reporting low disk space. There's a capacity issue. We need to go and increase the disk space. Or my SAN, my storage area network, is nearing capacity. All right. You want to have some additional comments, some agreed actions. Well, perhaps we now need to go and purchase an additional 5 terabytes worth of storage, for example. So that's where you will go and actually do the SAN capacity as needed. All right. And then very similarly, you would then add any capacity items into the closed section once that has been addressed. So that's capacity. You can check out this little template for that capacity spreadsheet in the notes as well.